Hi there, welcome to Over Gardens. Now I had here what was a really established and floriferous fuchsia, but unfortunately it's looking rather worse for wear. It's got a few flowers you can see here, but the rest of it's looking rather sorry for itself. It's got this galling, this is what this is called, this kind of tangled up, deformed growth at the tips. This is caused by a microscopic mite called a Gall Mite, Fuchsia Gall Mite. It's a newish problem that's come into this country in the last 15 years or so, and it's really taken hold, particularly down in the southwest where we are. And it's causing, at the growth tips of this fuchsia, this, as I said, this really quite vivid deforming. And the aphid itself hides in the fresh growth tips and sucks all the sap out and causes this galling, this is what this is called, and it completely inhibits the flowering of the fuchsia. You've probably got it if you are growing fuchsias, particularly the hardier perennial shrub versions. They will be more susceptible to this than the kind of less hardy fuchsias that are treated as annuals. This fuchsia's been here for many years, and in the last 3 or 4 years it's really suffered to this Gall Mite. Now there's a few solutions. The most common one is to dig it out, burn it and replace it. There are some new bio controls which are being introduced. There's a predatory mite which can be introduced to the plant, which will eat the Fuchsia Gall Mite, similar to nematodes, I guess. It's a biological control. But with this one, I take my medicine every year. I cut it back in the spring. If it's really bad, I might cut it back a little bit earlier, because what will happen is some of the mites may overwinter. But you can see further into the shrub, the foliage is not as affected. It's mainly the tips. So as long as you cut the majority of the top growth away, you should find that the fuchsia will recover. But it's at this point really important to dispose of the infected growth effectively, and burning it is the best way, because the mite will, as I said, overwinter. So if you have got a fuchsia that's affected by this Gall Mite, if it's really quite drastic like this, I'd encourage you to cut it right back, burn all the top growth, and then cross your fingers and hope that in the spring, the following spring, the mites disappear. But if you're really agitated by what's happening with these mites, you're better off buying a new shrub. But with this one, because it's such an old and established shrub, I'm going to cut it back, keep my fingers crossed that in the following spring next year it's not as dramatic. But something to think about if you've got fuchsias and they're looking rather worse for wear with this Gall Mite.